Hello my girlies, welcome back to another vid. Today I want to, first up, before I start getting in, make sure you're comfy. As you can tell, your girl just don't get dressed. I live in my dressing gown. And do you know what? I was like, yeah, I need to start making an effort for videos and stuff because, you know, self-image and all that, brand image. Nah. This is me. I live in a dressing gown, so this is what you're getting, all right? All right. Now I've got that out of the way, let's get on with it. I've been doing some learning. I'm always learning. I love self-development. I love anything to do with self-development, confidence building, mental health, tips and tricks, all of that. I've got a few things I want to share with you that I've heard. And I'm like, yeah, that's stuck. You know when, like, I don't know if any of you read, but the only books I do read are self-development ones. And when I hear something, like, you can read pages and pages and then something just sticks in your brain. And I've had a few things that have done, like a few books that do that. Let me just go on with it. So, today's video, now I've got the waffle out of the way, we're going to talk about comparison and self-development together and how comparison can stunt your self-development. Thing that I heard was that do not compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 7. Now I feel like that is a good bit of info. Dive into what it actually is talking about. I've done this myself and I still can find myself doing this. And then I heard that sentence from another TikToker and I was like, yeah, you know what, even me on this whole self-development journey, sharing all my self-development things I'm learning, there's still things I'm like, shit me, I'm doing that. Use fitness as the example because I don't know about you, I'm going to be so honest as I always am. I don't know why I always say that because your girl don't have a filter and I just come out with exactly what I'm thinking, overshare, all of that. I have been on a mish for, let's say, what year are we now? 2023, 2019, let's say, yeah. So from end of 2019, start of 2020, I feel like that's when the weight started to creep up on me. And ever since then, so we're talking 3 years, and I still not have got to my end goal, but that's okay. We learn along the way. And actually, I feel like that comparing to other people's chapter 7, chapter 9, chapter whatever, even their chapter 1 when you're in chapter 1, it's just a big reason as to why I go in the same cycle. Same video, I've got the most, I found it very interesting. I listened to a podcast and there's this cycle of change theory. Oh my gosh, when I tell you the light bulb went as bright as pos in my brain when I heard about this, I was like, babe, that's what you do that every time and that's why you start a million things. I am rambling, let me just get on with it. What it means by when I say don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 7 is it's very easy to sit and look at other people's journeys and follow other people's journeys and use that as guidance or use that as motivation or whatever it is, yeah? But sometimes you've got to draw that line between I'm using this person to motivate me through their content or whatever they're posting their journey to I'm constantly comparing my journey to theirs. Because if that's the case, you need to cut off all that following because everyone's journey, no matter what goal you're going for, is proper personal to you. Nobody's you, no one's in your body, no one has your thoughts, your lifestyle, no one's got all of those things exactly that make you you. So your level 1, your chapter 1 is never going to be exactly the same as someone else. You might share similarities between them or whatever. So for example, let's take me. Let's say I'm in my chapter 1 of weight loss and all of that business. I would say I'm a little further because the amount of knowledge I've gained through these TikTokers, honestly, little bit hard when the info is so like, no, I can't think of the right words. Anyway, but I will look at people on Instagram that I've followed for a long time who are PTs and who work out in the gym once, twice a day and then training clients so they're showing and still working out again. And I've been working out for 7 years. And I'm here like, okay, I've done a week's worth of working out. Where's my results at? I very much have been so stuck in that quick, like, how am I going to drop that stone, 2 stone, 3 stone? How am I going to get that toned belly? We forget to do And the biggest thing what I was pointing out here is about the comparison, weren't it? Actually, yeah, go ahead, use people's stories, journeys, whatever, for motivation, for food, inspo, for whatever, for learning how to work out in different ways. But don't expect your journey to be anything of the same as theirs. I think what we need to do, and what I am taking on that I need to do, is with comparison, you just need to quieten down the noise. If you are trying to do something, then you need to be, and I've heard quite a few people say this, you need to be deluded. So you need to be thinking, yeah, I'm already there, I'm doing this. You need to cut out all that noise, quieten that noise. You already have enough noise going on in your head. I don't know about you, but my self-chatter is extremely loud sometimes and can be putting me down, hence why it's taken me a minute to get back onto recording these videos, even though I love to sit here and have a chat with you. So despite having your own self like chatter in your head and things that sometimes you'll put your own barriers up, having other people there to compare yourself to constantly is just going to make those barriers too big to even get yourself through and make this change happen. Whilst all of that's in the mix, and whilst all of that's happening, your confidence is not going to be growing anywhere. About confidence, I can confidently talk about being confident because honestly, I've worked so hard on my self-confidence that I have in myself that weight gain has barely scraped the edges. It's barely affected my inner confidence in who I am as a person. Now, I'm saying that it didn't happen overnight, trust me, but I want that to give you a bit of confidence in actually, hang on, this girl's talking about weight gain and that she's not met a goal yet. But actually, in the process, I've learned how to love myself completely, how to be so confident in myself, physically, externally, internally, all of that. So these things that I'm talking about, we're always going to have self-development. We're always going to be wanting to develop, and that's a good thing. If you're just sat and comfy, you're in that comfort zone, and actually sometimes it can be a bit of a dangerous place. In order to get ourselves out of that, we need to be feeling uncomfortable. I'm going to tell you something that I'm doing, right? Girls, I can't believe it. So, moving on to the insecurities, right? I don't have many strong ones anymore, okay? Everyone's got insecurities, that's absolutely fine. But mine no longer rule my life. And that is a beaut place to be, trust me. I will continue to share everything I know on how I got myself out of that place and whatnot. Let me be really... I don't know why I'm nervous about telling you this, but I do have an insecurity, right? The girls will know this, my girls will know this, and my close people know this. Let me just tell you it. I have an insecurity hugely that has stemmed from some comment that a little dweeb of a boy made back when I was 13. Now, I don't know if you know, and no, I wasn't allowed to go to these. I don't even know if my dad still knows that I went to these. But Liquid, you know the club, it used to do daytime events. So I was never allowed to the night ones. But I used to go to town and they used to do daytime events, which was basically a party with no alcohol, banging tunes, all of that. And we used to have a daytime party. I don't know if you did that, but I did that. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't allowed, but I did it. And my type of music as well is, like, I love the reggae, I love the bashment, I love the dancehall, all of that. So that comes with being able to whine and grind and move your waist and just not be stiff. Some little dweeb told me that I'm the stiffest thing that he's ever seen. And actually, you know what, that's all right. Because I was thinking about this, and I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent, but actually it's so strange when people attach, like, whether you're a good or a bad dancer to somebody, because all different cultures dance so differently. If you look at like dance, ballet or street dance or whatever it is, and then you go further and you look at cultures, if you go to a traveller's wedding, which I've been to many, being one myself, our dance style compared to what I see in the clubs these days is not similar at all. Travellers are still, majority of the time, in this, like the Shakira era where they're still winding their hips and waist. Nothing about broke it off. The point of the matter is, yeah, I don't think you can say anyone's a good or a bad dancer, because Dancing is just about having fun, and if you're having fun, that's all that matters. Anyway, that's me talking about how to get me trying to persuade myself not to have this insecurity, but it's still there. This boy told me, like I said, when I was 13 years old, when I didn't know myself, when I was much more insecure, when I was much more of a follower, didn't have my own style. I was still a loud bitch, don't get me wrong. But yeah, not many 13-year-olds are strong and set in who they are and all that. We're all learning and finding ourselves at that point, and at a very early stage, aren't we, in doing so. But girls, I'm 24, I'm 25 in April, and I'm pretty sure, what is that, 10, 11, nearly 12 years I've held on to this silly comment, right? And that's a bit sad. The only way you'll catch me getting up and drinking, no, I've just told you what I'm about to say, getting up and dancing is if I've had a bit of a drink. And that is it. And I've got to have a good bit to even move away from the 2 steps. Like, dead serious. But that's all right, yeah. That's not going to happen anymore. Because guess what I've done? I'm just so nervous. I've booked myself in a dance class, right? I know this girl. And she's very, very, she just dances so well. Anyways, she leads classes and beginners classes, heels classes, may I add. And I just went and got myself a ticket, and I'm going to go by myself and go do it. I'm shitting myself. I'm actually shitting myself. But I'm not going to hold on to that insecurity anymore. Like, I feel like this video has been a whole, I'm outing myself out here. But it's so true. And actually, words really can hold on to you, can't they? But do you know the funny thing and the weird thing, which I can't actually get my mind around it? If someone said to me now, George, you dance so stiff, I would bust out the air guitar and get on my knees and start laughing at them, because the confidence is oozing out my arsehole that I actually don't get hurt. I know that I have got no Shakira hips out here, but it would not faze me. But the little comment from there is still stuck. So we're going to get it removed tonight at my dance beginner class. But that's a perfect example of getting out your comfort zone, because trust me when I tell you, I'm out of my comfort zone. I even asked her if I could just go and watch for the first time, because I'm honestly shitting myself. I don't think I've ever done a dance sober like that, like serious. So no. When I was a kid, I did boxing and kickboxing. So even stiffer. That's the only bit of movement I've got. I can bounce around a ring. But yeah, I never did. That's one thing I'm going to make sure my girl does, is get into a dance class so she can be the most confident bitch on the dance floor. But anyway, I've so taken a bit of a diversion. But actually, no, I haven't, because this is me just being really open and honest with you about confidence and insecurities and comparison. Comparison, like, same with this dance example I've just given you. You can look at someone else and think, oh my God, I'm so shit because they're good. No. It's like, as well, some people will make comments on like influencers' posts, or I've even had it to me and stuff, and people say, oh my God, I wish I looked like you, or wish I looked like them, or whatever. Oh my God, they're so pretty. And as if that then reflects that you're not pretty because they're the only one that can be pretty. If you're listening to this, you can find other girls pretty. That does not take any prettiness away from you. Okay. And secondly, the prettiest part about a person, and I'm being dead honest, is inside. How many people, boys, girls, whatever, have you come across and think, whoa, they're attractive, they're good looking, and then thought, and that's it, that's the end of the story there, because their content inside isn't as nice as how they look on the outside. For me, makes a person uglier, but I know not everybody feels that way. But yeah, focus so hard on being yourself, your true self, finding what you love to do and what you like to do. I am going on a full-on preach right now, and I'm just so excited to chat to you. But no, I've got my point across. I wanted to tell you in this video, right? I've got my notebook here, because when I'm reading my books or listening to my podcast, I write my notes down, because they're the things that stick out to me, and that's how I learn. All right, you get the point. So let me tell you about this emotional cycle of change. Now this ties in a little bit, because when I'm talking about staying and focus on your chapter 1 and not other people's chapters, you'll understand why, and that will tie in here. So let me just get on with it. The only things, I know how to explain it, I just don't remember the titles, all right? So let's imagine a U, okay? Point 1 of our U shape, okay, is called uninformed optimism. This talks about, so let's go again with the weight loss, okay? We're sticking with that because it's something I know very too well, and I've quit many times, right? So point 1 of this is called uninformed optimism. So we're going to go with a weight loss example. So you're so excited, Jay, you found this new way of apparently going to be losing weight and whatever you want to do. And you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. You write down your goals, you do your measurements, you weigh yourself, you go get your food shop, so excited, so buzzed, cool, yeah? This is a stage where actually you don't actually know the full vision of what's coming and the work you've got to put in to make that change happen. I've been in this stage many a time, and this is, I'll tell you when the light bulb moment hit, because girls, I feel like I just got outed when I heard about this. I feel like I was being directed. Anyway, point 2 of our U, okay, so we dropped down a bit on this U. It's called informed pessimism. So this is where the motivation is starting to drop. You're like, actually there's a whole lot of work that's got to go into me making this change in myself and creating this new habit or whatever it is, or reaching this career path, whatever, or starting this business. Yeah, we'll stick with the weight loss. So you're like, oh yeah, you've done the meal prepping, you've done your body measurements and your weighing and stuff, and you've done a bit of working out, and then you're like, oh, I've not seen any results really yet. This is, motivation's out the window, all of that business. That's where discipline becomes the biggest form of self-love and self-care, because motivation is never going to be here all the time. It comes and it goes, and it is not reliable. So discipline is what we've got to build, okay? But anyway, you think, oh yeah, feeling a bit not so positive about this. Then we go down and you think, right, yeah, I've reached my bottom at point 2. No, girls, no. Point 3, and this was the biggest light bulb moment for me, honestly. Point 3, by the way, this is from a podcast by someone called Rob Dial. He's a mindset mentor. I've been listening to it on just Apple Podcast, but he's on YouTube as well. So point 3 is called the Valley of Despair, is what he called it. And this is the most common place of where people will quit, okay? When they're trying to make a change in themselves, introduce new habits, all of that. This is where the comfort zone comes creeping back in and it looks much more appealing. You know, that whole like grass is greener on the other side. This is where you're at right now. And this is where the light bulb hit, okay? Because what you don't realise in this stage is that the grass ain't greener, and actually you might hear, so in the weight loss example, you might see a quicker, easier method to lose weight and not have to put in so much work to do it. And yeah, that's steering like your original plan and changing your mind. You're thinking, yeah, I'll just go for that instead. That's so much easier. What I'm doing right now is too tough. It's going to take too long, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. But what we fail to know in this point, let me just tell you, I have been at stage 3 so many times and chosen the quit route. The quit route is the easiest route to go down. It's harder to stick and like be consistent. That's something I know I struggle with, but we're all learning and we're all gonna be consistent bitches, okay? Anyway, but what you fail to know and realise in stage 3, in this valley of despair, right, is that, all right, yeah, cool, you see all these shiny new things, ideas, blah, 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 that sound much more interesting because now you're more informed on what work is going to take to make your change. Well, actually, girl, when you go to that new shiny thing, you're back at the uninformed optimism stage. You're back at number 1. You're still going to get down to number 3, and it's a vicious cycle from there. Sorry, but am I the only one who's been feeling like I've just done 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 my whole time? When I listened to this, I was washing up, I was like, what? This is me. This is me all over. This is why I have so many ideas and I've not got to the end of anything because I just keep going to number 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3 the whole time. Not anymore, girls. Not now we know how our brain's working. Anyway, number 4 then. Number 3, by the way, is at the very bottom of our U, okay? See, this is rock bottom, we'll call it. Anyway, going up to number 4 is called informed optimism. So this is where if you get there, can't relate, but no, this is where you are more knowledgeable about what you need to do. You're more knowledgeable about what you need to get done to get to that end goal. You know the struggles, you know that you can't rely on your motivation, you know that you've got to be in a calorie deficit or whatever you want to do, whatever your goal is. You know what it is, you know what it takes, you're starting to see a bit of results, the scale weight's dropping, the inches on your tapes dropping, whatever you're doing, and you're like, yeah, okay, I know this has been hard work and it is hard to make a change, sorry, but you're more informed now. You know, you're not like hidden through this like glittery uninformed optimism, which was number 1. It's number 4 now. You're at stage 4, right? You're making progress. But this sounds like somewhere I want to be, all right? This is where I want to be. And once you get through that, that's where the work really does continue, but you know what to expect, you know what's coming, you know that there'll be things you don't know along the way, but you're okay and you accept that, and you're okay to, what can I say, accept that you're going to take on whatever comes your way. And then stage 5 at the top of our U is success and fulfillment. That's where we all want to be, girls. Don't know about you, but I've only made it to the Valley of Despair and I hopped off my boat on that one. So yeah, I could not get over that. I was honestly, you know, and you just have like a light bulb moment. Yeah, I was like, yeah, mate, yeah, this is me. This explains me. And for me, understanding why I would do something would help me to not do it again. So for example, when, let's say I'm on my weight loss journey, or I'm not, I am, and then when eventually I get back down, because I've done my meal prep at the start of this week, I've done my health food shop, I've booked some classes, done some work, you get the point, gone on walks, all that business. When eventually I get down to the bottom and I'm in the Valley of Despair again, I'm going to stay on that boat and keep rowing, because the grass ain't greener. You're not going to find an easier way. I've got all the tools now, so keep pushing, and that's the consistency hard bit. Tell me I've given you so much information on different topics. I told you this video was going to be about comparison, but actually it links back. So I wanted to talk about that theory of the cycle of change, because when you are trying to change something about yourself, you're in quite a vulnerable space. You're not in your comfort zone. You're not knowing fully what you're doing. So, like I say, that's the right word. You're in a vulnerable space. You're new. You're in a new area. You're not knowing fully what you're doing. So actually, comparison is the biggest killer while you're in this change cycle. You might see some other things, see some other people doing it a different way and think, oh yeah, that's much better. Oh yeah, actually they're doing it this way. Let me go do it that way. You might have the tools, exactly what you need to do. You just need that consistency tool to keep you in line and keep you going, to see them real results and make that change for yourself, to better yourself how you want to. But having all this comparison, looking at other people's chapter 7s, chapter 20s, chapter 2s, even their chapter 1s, it is not going to be the same as yours, like I've said. You're going to keep staying in your chapter 1. You're not going to make it to your chapter 7, because the comparison is taking over. You're jumping off your boat in the Valley of Death, whatever it was called, Valley of Death, Valley of Despair, and all those things. I hope this video has flowed for you a bit. I've learned so much from what I've explained to you in today's chat, and I just think, how could I not share it with you, even though I haven't reached my stage 5 yet? Do you know what I mean? That's one thing I always want to do, and this is one thing as well, I'm going to be again oversharing, that my anxiety will tell me, is that how are you going to share that and tell people how to do something or share their learning when you've not even managed to do it yourself? Valid point, Anne, valid point, but right, you can do it with other people. You could, by sharing it, sharing your learning, I am learning more about myself and installing those new beliefs, and hopefully give myself a better chance at success. So yeah, that's me telling you about the anxiety I had about doing this video, which was not necessary. Anyway, I'm sending you so much love, so much strength. If you have not signed up to my email list, go sign up, because we have chats. I am learning to become more consistent with it. We have our reset Sundays. We have our sort of like more motivational Mondays as well. and planning for the week and all of that, and reflecting, all of that good stuff, okay? So there's a link in my bio. Just go participate, all right? And when you do, right, even better, you get a free 20-minute video of me giving you a whole nother tool on how to balance your life proper. Wow, mister. Wow, she's good. Anyway, I'm going, all right? I'm going.